Welcome back, Market Mastery, the 1 hour you need the market to make you some money. We got some great stuff for you today, starting it off with NVIDIA. Is the run over, at least for now? We're going to answer that question and go through our price targets on the downside, as well as what could happen if we do see a reversal. We are going to talk Snowflake, the Christmas came early miracle story that this man's been talking about for 10 years now, that has been an absolutely bottom dollar scalp, over 1,000% return on investment on our options trade around this specific name. We're going to walk you through that and what to expect going forward. As always, we're going to give you your SPY options trades for the week, both bull and bear. Even though it's a short week, you're going to make money either way. Then we have some even better stuff for you. Another $100 giveaway for 5 minutes of your beautiful time. So we're going to be giving you a lot and more starting right now. Let's get into it. We got NVIDIA right here. Today was not very pleasant. You could see that we have basically broken out of our trend range right here, that we really needed to see this hold, which does not bring optimism, I would say, to those that were buying later in the run. Now, full disclosure, my cost basis on NVIDIA is below $20 a share. Okay, we were buying this at $150 before it even split. So it went up 10x. That's when we bought it. So I am holding at a very comfortable average where I'm more than willing to take a significant amount of risk here. That is just cake and easy. So just throwing that out there right now. We really just saw, what we didn't want to see, which is like, when NVIDIA doesn't post striking earnings that, make you crap your pants, the stock doesn't respond well because of how far it's run on hype alone. So I'd say that, the underlying business is extremely valuable, but I would argue that the run has outpaced that underlying value here. And again, with a very sentiment-driven market, which we live in, right? This one has, I think, kind of overstayed its welcome above 136. So that was kind of our mark. Sorry, 140, excuse me. So 140 was our target to hold above to see more upside in the short term. That does not mean that the run is dead in the long term. It just means in the near term, next couple months, we might not see the price targets we had hoped to see by end of Q1 January. So Shai, I don't know about you. I don't know how you're feeling about it, or if you want to say too much or too little, but I'd say just like before you go into anything deep, just based on your perspective here, what we were talking about before the show started here, we're talking a little bit about the commoditization of chips and how, it kind of opens the door for other kids to play the game.
Yeah, I mean, Amazon already dropped this past weekend that they're going to kind of launch their own in-house chips so they don't become overly reliant on NVIDIA's chips. I think everyone can agree that it's a very cyclical business, and what NVIDIA's GPU strength is in as a first mover advantage with that pricing power that entails, it's going to inevitably dwindle, and that's going to come at the expense of the margins. But I'm underwriting, as well as a lot of people on the street, that this is really going to be a 2027, 2028 issue. It's not really going to be an issue in the next 12 months. Blackwell chips is all sold out. You've seen like commentary from Jensen that their margins are still stabilizing at 75%. And during the ramp up for Blackwell, it's maybe going to diminish down towards the low 70%. I think that commentary was what like people didn't like. And that's why it hasn't really caught a bid after their earnings. But also he mentioned it's going to go back normalized to 75%. So that's telling me even after the Blackwell ramp up, which is going to happen like right away, that it anticipates like, again, next year that they're still going to have that margin strength of 75%. So that tells me is there's still going to be pricing power for NVIDIA, and that won't be going away. So now we're going to see same story over and over again, where I do still think NVIDIA is going to hit that 150 level, but I think it's what's happening in NVIDIA isn't really as much of an NVIDIA issue. I really do think it's the appetite of the markets. You're seeing it today with across like a lot of the clear 2024 winners, and also in the past week, you've seen it where a lot of large tech and like the winners who've been consistent throughout the year haven't really caught that much of a bid. And you've seen the lagging high quality names in the small and mid cap world really take off. I think you're slowly seeing a repositioning occur, especially because we are getting validated that this is a risk on environment right now. And this feels very similar to end of 2020, if you guys remember, where we dipped and we got bought up, and we never stopped since the halfway mark of 2020. It extended throughout 2021. I'm not saying that we're entering bubble territory, but the environment feels very like end of 2020, where it's clearly risk on and the Fed's on our side. And that is a dangerous combination. And especially when the US is the only strong GDP nation really in the world right now. So a lot of dollars are kind of getting flown into the US stock market. And with and Trump becoming president, that's very pro business. And all his appointees that he's been tasked to fill the chairs with the past week or so are very pro business as well, especially VC and tech. We're entering such an favorable environment right now that you're just seeing a lot of investors and traders kind of take their chips off the table for the 2024 winners, large cap, semis, Nvidia, towards the lagging high quality names like this. You're seeing MongoDB, Snowflake, you're seeing cloud, you're seeing software in general, and also small cap infrastructure players as well, just catching major bids. And I don't think it's going to end. I really do think this is a repositioning that's occurring ahead of the year's beginning in 2025, which you kind of do see that a lot in November, December, where you see some positioning occur ahead of the following year, and then you go on from there. So I do think we're seeing a repositioning happening right now, and I love to see it because I've been my style, as you guys are aware, is I'd rather be first than see the signs and get validated, then jump in. I'd rather be first because I don't want that FOMO behavior to dictate my investing pattern. I knew this transition from stage one AI investment, which was servers, compute, hardware, was eventually going to transition to the second stage, which is applications. And that second stage is where the real money is going to be made. There's no cyclicality to it. It's all recurring revenue. And essentially the hardware is building the foundation of this application layer to really thrive in the AI world. This application layer, we've gone signs this earnings. It's happening right now. Palantir showed signs 2 quarters ago, and that's why they caught a major bid in the past 6 months. But now you're seeing signs this earnings season from Datadog, ServiceNow, Snowflake, Cloudflare, Confluent, the list goes on, Atlassian, the list goes on. You're seeing the second stage finally happen, and now people are just transitioning from stage one investment to stage two, and that stage two is where my growth portfolio is orchestrated. I knew this was going to happen, didn't know when, but I just wanted to be first moving into that transition, and we're seeing it right now. Portfolio is up 30% the past month. There's been no slowdown. I do think 2025 will be the year of software, very similar to what 2023 was a year of hardware and semiconductors. 2025 will be the year of software, and I think that's only going to gain more and more steam. So I think it's less of an Nvidia issue. I think it's just more of a risk appetite in the market right now isn't where it used to be. It's transitioning towards something else.
I couldn't agree more. And I would agree with you that I think the commoditization of the space is something that it'll continue to be talked about, guys. Don't take that as I know it's a broad concept and we want to always break it down to bite-sized bits. Basically it just means there's going to be more entrants, more players in the game. And you never truly know how, the whole the tariff thing or sanctions you don't know how it's going to affect macro markets. And from a geopolitical perspective, it's always a risk. But on the same token, it's throw all that out. Doesn't really matter. The question I think on any investor's mind is, are we a little bit frothing at the top here? And I think that's really all it is. In a considerable pullback would mean nothing in the grand scheme of things. I really like this 115 level. It's right on trend, perfect confluence with our long-term trend support dating back to April of 24 this year. I don't think that would be a deal. I think that would be an incredible opportunity to load up for another long-term build into the position. So fret not. I mean, if you're trading near-term options on this, fear, especially if you're trading upside, definitely have fear and reconsider. I guess that position, as much as I can tell you, it's not financial advice. I mean, at the end of the day, that's something I would do. So where I'd start is to just take that step back and say, okay, it's been ripping, but it might not continue to rip right here, right now. It doesn't mean it's over. Long-term perspective, holding equity, I have no concerns and no fears, right? Clear winner. They're going to continue to benefit. Data center growth is going to continue to drive revenue and valuation in a way that I don't see much competition there. And I believe that as they continue to scale out that segment of the business, other companies that are going to basically leverage the chips for growth are going to just fuel growth here. Because again, as companies profit more from the deliverable from NVIDIA, then they're going to eventually just continue to raise the price. I mean, look at the cost of processors. Dude, thank God I built this computer. So here's a real life example. Thank God I built this computer when I did in 2020. If I built this same computer today, what I paid $1,800, right, to build this beautiful computer that I put together myself, high quality. If I build that same computer now, it's almost $6,000 with near the same components, even though some of them are outdated. So keep that in mind. And if you're ever kind of struggling with what to do, I would say that, here's a good example. So we're going to have a little fun with this. We put together a quiz where you can find out what kind of trader are you. You can see it on the screen. If you're on Twitter Live on your phone, just screenshot, and then you go in your images and you can just click it to take that quiz. Retweet or just tweet at Pennyboys with a screenshot of your results, and we will be sending some lucky winners some wonderful gifts. So again, take this quiz, screenshot your result, tweet it at Pennyboys, and we will be sending you a DM. You can check those DMs as soon as tomorrow, and you should have a lovely little gift. But more importantly, this will help you figure out, okay, I love NVIDIA. I want to buy more, but do I have the stomach to be a swing trader in the short term? Am I a long-term investor? This will help you get a better understanding of what you're doing with your trading in your portfolio. And I highly suggest all of you scan that code and handle it. So that's NVIDIA. I'll leave this up on the screen for a minute so everyone can either screenshot or just scan it if you're watching this on a desktop to take that quick quiz. We don't ask for any information, nothing required. I just want you to tweet at Pennyboys with your results, include that screenshot, and we will be sending you guys a nice little gift for participating. A quick question here. I hope it's not NVIDIA related. So if there's any other questions on NVIDIA, we got about 2 seconds left before we wrap this up. So again, point of confluence approaching 115. This is a key area we need to watch into early next year. If we see price continue to the downside, I'm going to expect an approach of 115 to 118. That will be the support level that I will look to either build a new options position or add to the current equity position. Again, the last options trade on NVIDIA generated a 2,400% return. I literally bought a brand new car from those proceeds, made over 6 figures on the one trade. This is an example of where the one winner can carry you in a significant portion. So if you're following NVIDIA, if you're trading NVIDIA, I highly suggest you scan this code, figure out what kind of trader you are, so that you can understand whether or not you can stomach the volatility of the short term, or does it make more sense for you to think from a long-term perspective. And then we will be sending everyone that participates, tweet at Pennyboys, include the screenshot that you completed the quiz with your results, and we'll be sending you some fun stuff. So I want to transition here with this. So on NVIDIA, I currently still hold the shares. We're all about that transparency here. I'm holding all of my shares. I have like 1,500 shares in total. I hedged over 1,000 of those shares with the 155 calls that I sold at about 150 when NVIDIA was trading at 150. I sold those 155 calls, 145 right before earnings. And I collected my $4,000 premium, and I'm going to continue to hold my long position, but I have that short still open unless we break back up into this range right here. I'll make it a little easier by drawing right here. So unless we break back into this range right here, I'm going to continue to hold that short position open as a protection against my long position, which is obviously of much more significant value than the short. So someone was asking that question. That's what I did. The 155 calls what I went short. I am not trading short-term options on NVIDIA right now at all. If we break below 132, there is a very, very interesting options trade to the downside for NVIDIA that I will be posting to all of the members in Discord. Again, the link's in the bio if you want to go grab it. You can get in there and have access to our Friday stream. We put together a few trades every week. It's all the analysts together, just kicking it, hanging out live. So let's transition now into the name that has paid the bills, another 1,000% runner that has been exceptional. I believe this was, I don't know if it was my 7th or the 9th on options. Courtesy to the big man here, to Big Papa here, because he was all over this, and he convinced me. And he called me one time. He says, "If you don't start participating in snow, I'll never stream again with you." And I was like, "Damn, dude! Like, he's not playing around with the snow thing." He's like, "You better mention it on every stream, or we're done." I was like, "Okay, dude, cool." But no, you guys, he gave it to you early. He had that insight. So let's give a quick round of applause here for a good find, easy win. Everybody should have ate on this trade. Everybody's belly should be full after this one. Whether you bought shares, you're up 70% as it ripped to 170. If you bought the options trade, we alerted in the premium Discord, you're up over 1,000%. If you bought the second option, we alerted the Discord, you're up 700%. If you bought the third option, we alerted in Discord, you're up 600%. No matter how you shake it, you made stupid money on one trade. Again, the one trade can make you as much as it can break you. But if you do this right and you manage risk appropriately like we did, that snowflake position, I turned $200 into over $1,000. I turned $250 into, I think, $1,500 or so. And then the biggest one, right, I turned, I don't know, it was like $400 into over $3-4 grand. So the gift that came early and that keeps on giving. Without further ado, Snowflake.
Winter is here. Listen, I'm Snowflake was probably the only name in my portfolio that I had so much pride in, and my ego was actually translated into this name because I was in the minority in this name. I think I was maybe the only, or maybe there's another person that was so public facing on how bullish they were on Snowflake when clearly their stock was just down, down, down. And I was like, at the 110 to 115 level, I was just like, you guys, this is a perfect example of how the stock price is completely disconnected from business execution. Snowflake, people just see the stock price and see that narrative follows stock price, see the narrative like, oh, Snowflake's down 40% this year. It's down 70% from their IPO, from their high. This is at the same time when AI is clearly a major trend, and you're seeing Palantir up over 200%. So clearly, Snowflake's a shitco company that AI is killing, and Palantir is this AI darling. When I was very vocal every single week saying, this is completely mispriced from the market. This is not a data warehouse company that's being cannibalized by AI, which is what the market was pricing the stock when it was at 110, 120. This is a company that stores 40% of the global 2000 data into their ecosystem that the previous CEO, Frank Slootman, just didn't believe in the AI theme, so they didn't invest on the compute necessary to go-to-market AI products. They brought a new CEO who is an AI genius, short list of taking over OpenAI CEO slot last year when all the Sam Altman issue, knowing that, wow, they have that data advantage with a CEO that actually is an AI genius. That combination, they're going to have a guide path to becoming the data platform for enterprise AI. It doesn't make sense for what the market's pricing them as a dying AI company. It just did not make sense. I was banging my head against the wall. Just like how Rocklab was being stuck between $4 and $5. It's like, how is this possible? This is a duopoly in a space economy that's going to hit $1 trillion TAM in like the next 8 to 10 years. And this is not a satellite launching company. It's a full-on space prime, but the stock price is the same level as it was 2 years ago. There's a major disconnect. Look what you see in Rocklab. Now it's at $24. Now everyone's seeing them as the space logistics company of the future. Saying the same shit was at $4. Narrative follows stock price. Snowflake, now so many people are warming up to Snowflake all of a sudden when it's at 175. Nobody wanted to touch it. This time last week it was at 110, 115, and 120. Nobody. Everyone was just like so comfortable putting this in the bucket of AI is going to kill it. That's it. It's just laziness. It's not just retail. It's the people. It's the street. It's the investors. It's the talking figureheads who have no idea what they're talking about. There's so many people who got Palantir correct, which great. I agree. I'm with you guys. I got Palantir is my number one position, but you are no software expert. You guys don't know the space. and you're claiming that Snowflake's this dying company that AI is going to destroy, because all you're doing is like looking at the stock price. Oh, it's going lower and lower. It must be a shit go. It's not. And it's like these people are just one-trick ponies because they got one name right. They don't know the space. I know the space. I know anecdotal evidence about Snowflake. I know how sticky it is. I know the competition, what Databricks can offer, what Snowflake can offer. I know the full scope of what's happening in this environment. And Snowflake is going to be a mega cap one day. I'm telling you, people are violently mispricing what their growth is going to be. Right now, they saw that revenue reacceleration from Snowflake and like, whoa, what's happening? I thought this was a dying company. And their net retention rate ticked up from 127 to 129. First time in 10 quarters, that metric ticked back up. Revenue reacceleration towards 29% now. Their margins finally bottomed. It's still not where it was before because they're still investing in compute because they need it in order to fulfill their AI vision. I'm fine with that. Of course, I want that in a growth company. And even then, with their margins being compressed, they're still producing 25% free cash flow. So right now, they're still producing a Rule of 40 score of 54. And this is their investment year. Right now, the street is pricing in Snowflake, growing their top line at 22, 23% for the next 3 or 4 years. I'm having them at 30% growth for the next 3 or 4 years. That delta is that's why I'm saying they're violently offside still. And that's why there's so much leg for this rally to continue. And even just, let's just say, keep those estimates that I think are completely underestimated. That's the reality. Fine. I really don't think so, but let's just play that game. Using Datadog, Confluent, MongoDB, and Palantir as the comps for what Snowflake should be pricing the stock as for next year, the fair value is 215. So I think Snowflake's going to go to 215 a lot sooner than people think, because right now they're going through a massive re-rating because so many people were offsides on this name. And now that they saw proof in the pudding, they are now need to re-rate it because they're not a dying company. They're actually going to be one of the leaders of the modern AI tech stack. Now they're going to reprice it towards what the median comp is going to be, and that's 215. But I'm under the impression that they deserve a premium against all these comps because their ceiling is so much higher. So I do think that the bounce is probably going to occur at 215. I do think that I wouldn't be surprised if it starts trending towards that 250 level. But I do think once it gets 215, it's kind of still needs to follow through. It needs to still continue showing signs of revenue acceleration. Margins have bottomed, and they need to go maintain that 30% top line growth. And I think I'm very confident in their ability to do so. But this is going to be, it's not just a dead cat bounce. This is the beginning of an inflection period that will continue. Just like what happened to Palantir a year ago, 9 months ago, I think that was the quarter for Snowflake that happened last week. And you've seen the run that Palantir has gone on. I think Snowflake's the next name to run.
I love that conviction. Come on now. Got some good comments coming in the chat. I love how he is when we talk about snow, getting a taste. Just a quick. So, Juice, don't worry. Question about Palantir. That's coming to you soon, my friend. We got this, some SPY options trades for you, and then we will absolutely dive into that one. Ed, I love you, baby. It's all good. We're gonna be just fine. You never miss it. You're just ready for the next one, and I think that's like the understanding to have. There's always another one. There's always another one, man. People said that when we were ripping these out 5 years ago, and we're still doing it. We got Palantir from $7, went to 60. We got this one from 109. It's already at 170. We got Robinhood from 8, it went to 30 something. Rocket Lab, he called it $4, it went to 20 something. So, guys, if you're starting to pick up on what we're putting down here,
don't forget IonQ 6 and 30.
As everybody's talking about it, suddenly everybody's all about IonQ. They want to know. They're all about IonQ. We give this Mr. Samaki. I agree.
Bring that barcode up again. I do have a new name that I'm really excited for. Really excited for it. I don't have exposure in yet, but I do. As you guys are aware, I do research every single weekend, every single day. I think this name, it's a smaller mid cap company, less than $20 billion. I think they're going to run really hard. And it's because I won't give you hints because I'm going to drop the deep dive this weekend. If you guys are subscribers to my newsletter, I will be dropping that deep dive this upcoming weekend. They are the AI infrastructure player that a lot of people are missing out on. And it's nothing, they're not going to be exposed to the cyclicality nature of stage one. I think they're creating their own market. And I'll give you another hint. NVIDIA is their biggest partner. And a lot of people are really underestimating this name. And I really want to own this name next year. I'm going to be sharing it this weekend.
So you heard it. You do it. Either screenshot this right here, screenshot this so you can go to your gallery, open up the image, and you can click the link, or open that camera right now, scan this QR code. That's how you get it. He's going to be releasing it to the email list. You heard it here first. The next big AI runner for 2025. So if you love the Palantirs, the Snowflakes, the OpenAIs, whatever you're trading that's AI driven, this is a banger. This is going to be a banger. So you can guess it all you want, but I'll tell you right now, I just labeled the picks that we just ripped through. If you want the next one, you get it while it's hot. And this is how you get it. Again, scan this code or take a screenshot, and you could do this later if you're on your phone. Feel free to also DM either one of us if you can't do either. I want to make sure that you get access. So just to set the tone here, they got about how many hours until that bad boy's released? That's getting released this week, right? So
it's going to get Wednesday night. So 2 days. 2 days.
You
guys got 2 days. Yeah.
Get in there, baby. You got 48 hours to get the pick that might change it all. I love it. I love it. I love it. So now we're going to do a quick hit. We're going to do our SPY options, and we're going to talk a quick bit of Tesla, a quick bit of Palantir. Then we're going to get into a little bit of Smash or Pass and give away $100 to those of you that want to give 5 minutes of time to win potentially $100. So we've got the SPY here, and I'm going to pull this chart back up. Let's get this going. Boom. So I'm going to leave this up on the screen for a minute so you guys don't miss it. Our SPY options trades for the week. Again, remember, these are the two trades that you have to know, because regardless of what the market does, you will make money. So just to take you back to last Monday, right? We gave you the bull trade off of 583. That paid over 100% from 583 to 597. So that paid over 100%. Gave you the bear trade, again, from 599 down to 583. That paid 100%. That was one. Then two was the bull trade back up. So money's on the table, ladies and gents. We're in that same range, and that same trade is going to be below 598. We're going to head back down to 583, potentially 590. So that's where we're going to look to cut bait. I'm going to give you the exact options contract I'm watching for this trade, as well as my upside targets in the event that we get a little bit of a breakout here. So let's pull up the options chain. I'm just going to leave the chart on here because we don't need to swap screens and do all that business. So again, we always want to go on these options trades. This is essential here, guys. You need to pay close attention here. On these options trades, we want to be within 3 weeks till expiration to capture more premium on the short-lived moves up and down. The last two picks from last Monday's stream were 100% to the downside, 100% to the upside. So I want to give you those same breakdowns so that you guys can come in there and trade like a champion, whether the market's red or green. You're going to be making money if you follow this simple formula. So we're going to the options chain here. I am looking at, to start, let's do December 9th. That puts us about 14 days out. It's a little less than I wanted, but it's what we got right now. So on the downside, again, if we continue to get rejected where we are right now, get that chart back up there for you. Right now, we are getting rejected right here. 5, this is a key level, right? Each one of these lines is a key level. And if you don't want to do this yourself, Porter, can you drop the link to our TradingView account? So we post these after the stream, so you have my chart. You don't need to guess. You don't need to do all your own lines. You can just follow that chart. I post it every time after the stream, so you can get there. So Porter can post that link in the chat, or DM us on Twitter, and we're happy to send you the link. So key level 598 and change, key level 583.60. We have a little bit of trend support here. So that's what we're watching as far as risk to the upside. But right now we're talking downside. Our bearish trade for the week is, let's see if we go 5. I'm liking the 595 put. So implied volatility is good. Our delta is strong. that is currently trading at about $3, so $300 a contract. That should, in theory, I'm going to go to the chart here to tell you based on current price and theta calculation where that trade would be, but I'm going to expect at least 25% on the upside here. So looking at this, the 595 put traded as high as 449 today, so almost 75% ROI from the $3 entry, with potential of coming down to about 270 on the entry. So the entry has already hit right here. We want to watch the 15-minute in case we get a false breakout, right? I'm going to walk you through exactly what I'm looking at, so fear not. I want you to know exactly how to play this, okay? So we've got our SPY 15-minute chart up here, right? This is key. So notice the other day, we broke out and we held up, hit 600 and change, and then this candle came and washed us out, and then we broke back up again, and then we tested again, and then this candle was our confirmation. So again, you see the price going up and down past this level, and you get confused and you go, well, wait, which one is it? Well, the answer is a 15-minute close below this line. So this candle would have been the confirmation. This one right here. This is our confirmation. Why? Because it started above the trend line and it closed below it. So we want a 15-minute candle close below. That's where I will be entering the position. And as you can see here, we saw a downside of about $5. So all the way down to 595.5. I think we could see a very similar test to the downside. That's why I chose the 595. So we'll get the delta acceleration as that goes into the money. So again, the 15-minute close below that trend line right here, 598 and change, will be the entry for this play. So again, if we open up, let's give you the exact example. So if we open up and we break out over this line, that doesn't mean anything to us, right? That does not mean we've broken out because we don't have the confirmation. If we dilly-dally around it and then you see a 15-minute candle close below it, that's when I will be re-entering this position for the potential downside to 595, which correlates with our trend support right here, which would make this a high probability, extremely low risk trade because our risk is completely managed on the upside, because we know if we come back down and then we break above 598, the trade's dead. So that's your stop loss. On the bearish trade, if we break back up above 598, stop loss, and it's done. So let's talk bulls. What are we looking at here for the bull trade? Very similar opening. I think maybe worst case scenario, 596 and change, maybe 597 on the downside. And then we come back up once we get that 15-minute confirmation and then a test. I would like two confirmations to the upside. I want the candle to break above, and then I want to see it test support and then hold above. At which point then I will be looking at probably going in the money, the 600 call for that same expiration. Again, 12-9, same expiration. I would go for the 600 call. So it'll be just outside the money. But if we get another big bump here, and we're going to go to a larger time frame to give you an idea. If we get a larger bump here to SPY, we're easily going to go to 605. Easily. So you're already $5 in the money at that point, which means this contract it'll accelerate its value quickly so that you make maximum return. Now, downside to that, where would my stop loss be? So if we get that confirmation of support above here and we enter and this goes to 605, take profit on the way up is what I'm going to be doing. If we get that confirmation and we test maybe 601, we test this right here and we get rejected, I will still hold it unless we come back down below 598 and change and the candle closes below that on the 15-minute chart. So again, if we test resistance but get beaten back down and that candle goes all the way below, like this candle right here would be a confirmation candle below. If it breaks below and closes below that line, I'm going bearish again. So again, I give you the flip point, right? This pivot point. That's how you know. It's like bearish, bullish. It's the same line. That way you need to just memorize one line on the chart, baby. It makes it that easy. I'm trying to get you to eat. These trades have played out. We did the math a while back. I don't say over almost a year and a half in a row where at least one side of this trade yielded 100% return. So all we could do is set you up for success and hope for the best. You have all the levels. You have everything you'll need. You know exactly the exact contracts. You know the exact levels. You know the exact strategy I'm deploying to trade it. You should be set up for success, baby. Follow us on TradingView. We can drop the link in the chat. I will post this chart so you have these levels mapped out for you. And next week I'll get a QR code because it seems like this makes it a lot easier. Hit the comments real quick before we transition. If you took that trading quiz, drop a comment and just say done. I would just like to know how many of you took it and what your thoughts are. But hit the comments, just comment done. If you're on Twitter on the live stream, just click that and you can leave a comment below as well. I'd love to know how many people participated. We want to build more tools like that so you guys can get a better understanding of, kind of what trading makes most sense for you, what strategies, what styles, what time frames, so that you guys can be in the best position to succeed, because we love you. That's all. So moving it on to keep it moving. So last chance to scan this code right now to get Shai's big AI runner for 2025. Do not miss it. If you can't, go back to the stream later. You can screenshot it or record it on your phone so you can get that link, and it's gone. So moving on through these charts, we have seen the history in the making for Palantir. We have record profits. I mean, this was a 3,000% plus gainer for me on options and I think 5-bagger on equity. I mean, I don't know. I can't do that quick math in my head. Today, wow, is that new all-time high today? I didn't even see that.
It was, yeah. It was up 5% right at the open.
Wow. So it continued moving in pre-market, and it looks like it's holding right there. This one is interesting. Let's see. Let's see where we ended up here on the daily. Oh, we broke that range, so it looks like we're still headed to Boomtown. This is wild. So for those that don't know, this is when we were giving you this trade right here. Back in April of 23 at $8 a share. And we gave you our Boomtown target of 69 on TradingView. Dude, so much shit was talked to me about this. They were talking so much shit. They told me first that 45 is the stupidest target they've ever heard. And like, I'm an idiot. And like, oh, it's the circles guy. Or just a bunch of bullshit. Clapped it. Then I told them 69. They're like, you're dumb. We had 67 and change. And this is when we were down at 30. So, dude, they can suck it. But what are your thoughts? What are you reading today? I mean, new highs, obviously that's great. Looks like sell side action today, but low volume. So you can't really put much salt in that. What are you thinking?
Yeah, so I think I don't know, Palantir. Listen, I'm not Palantir. That re-rating that Palantir happened in the past year. I'm not saying it's losing steam, but again, it's a very NVIDIA-like problem where appetite's going elsewhere. Palantir like faded their move that was up 5 or 6%. Everything about them, I still think they're going to be the enterprise AI winner regarding the application level, but you're seeing signs now of like a couple more software names showing that what Palantir showed a year ago. And you've seen that velocity of what can occur if you prove that you will be, AI won't cannibalize you. In fact, you're going to benefit off of it. You see that re-rating, how aggressively it can be, because you just saw Palantir. Like Palantir's move was somewhat of fundamentals, but really it was a multiple expansion. It was just people were willing to assign them a premium valuation because of how sticky they're going to be going forward. And I think from $65 range, you have to ask yourself, like, what else can this name get re-rated? Like, what's going to take this name to 75 to 80 to 90? And it's going to take an earnings upside surprise. And you can make the argument that a Trump-led presidency, there's going to be a lot more government flow towards this incremental defense budget is going to go towards AI. And Palantir will be the biggest beneficiary of that. So like the upward surprise, you might see it a lot on the government side of the business. If that's the case, they're going to be growing at least 30%, and that's going to get re-rated. But right now, the appetite, until that happens, I just don't think the appetite will be there for Palantir. Like you're seeing this morning, they got 2 analysts to revise their targets upward to $75. And that's why I caught a bid right at the open. But it gave that up pretty quickly. It was almost like a rug pull type of action. And I think that's just symbolizing that it's the appetite just looking for like the next names are on the modern AI tech stack, and that's Cloudflare, Snowflake, etc. So I'm not bearish on Palantir, but I'm also not bullish in the near term. I think it's Honestly, it looks like it wants to consolidate around 60. I think it's going to retest that gap up. It was hanging out over there. I wouldn't be surprised if it just consolidates between 60, that 60 level, 65 level until they report their earnings. And again, that should be more than fine. The stock's up 240% this year. This is one of those names where it's going to be a mega cap and actually has as dare I say it, I said it when it was at $10. Like, it has a shot at $1 trillion valuation. It could get there eventually. I still feel that way about Palantir. So I don't want to trim any of my shares because it's only worth, it's a $150 billion company. I think if I say they're going to be $1 trillion company, that's a 7x of this current valuation. I just don't know when it's going to get there. And I think there's better opportunities out there on the application layer of AI for right now. And you're seeing that already when a lot of the names across the board just did not give up their gains today, like Palantir did. So I don't think Palantir is ever going to, I really don't think Palantir is going to break $50, but I don't know if it's going to retest 75, but who knows? Like this appetite for this name has been so surprising, but I do think the reason it's been so surprising, but also makes sense because they were the only enterprise AI winner on the application stage of AI. That's not the case anymore. Like there's more names. So because of that, I do think if a lot of people want that stage 2 exposure for AI, it's not just Palantir anymore. There's multiple names. And I think that's what's kind of hitting Palantir a bit right now, where they were getting the whole pie. Now they're sharing it a bit with like the Snowflakes, the ServiceNows, the Datadogs, etc. Like that's all that's really happening right now. And that's not bearish, but it's just definitely not bullish.
Yeah, I on my chart, I've mapped that out to 180 a share. I agree with you. Timeline is different, but bullish momentum, guys, that's how I'll put it plainly. If continues bullish, 108 is my target. If continues bullish. There you go. Now you have it. But again, it's all about
a winner. It's a winner. That's
last, baby. If you ain't first, you last. You said it in your own way. But that's the truth. We're trying to set you guys up to be first so you could champion the gains. This looks like this looks like a meme coin. So for those of you in the Discord this weekend, you saw like last night, dude, I went on a meme like midnight, dude. I was like, you know what? This is crazy. I got to check this out and play this Solana slot machine. And I did. Dude, I tripled my money. It's stupid. Like if you have even the slightest understanding of charts and you know how to read social media to like understand what's starting to gain sentiment and what's not, and match that with the chart, dude, meme coins that's some fun stuff. And I'm talking, dude, I mean, you know how much I got in my account. I'm talking, I was throwing like $200, $100, just see what happened. But I turned a couple $100 and like $1,600 overnight.
That's fucking
meme city,
wild.
baby. But that's what this reminds me of is a meme coin chart, the initial pump, and then boom. For some of the better ones, right? The Doges, the Bitcoins, the ones that gain traction and following.
It's 10x in 2 years.
You're seeing social sentiment drop. Like I'm telling you, dude. Like that's why we have the secret formula, guys, and that like we've cracked the fundamental model. I mean, his model. You guys will see it one day, but you'd poop yourself right where you are. It's unbelievable. But that matched with the ability to craft the right options trade, this is a recipe for greatness, along with what's soon to be coming, Swinging Bull, basically helping us sell against that position to basically get the market to pay you for the long-term position that is going to 2-3x. So I think this name, it still has a lot of gumption. Volume's still there, incredibly overbought. It needs to come down a little bit, cool off, and set itself up for the next leg of the journey, which is another, I would say 100% upside if it continues bullish. So that's that. So as we just do a quick look at Tesla, I'm just going to do a quick technical.
As we do that, I do want to do a real quick, like we're going
get in there.
Yeah, we're going to play 100. I mean, again, I fully believe in paying it forward. So like freaking delivered. We're playing we're going to have a 3-question trivia in about a couple minutes on Snowflake. If you get 3 for 3 right, I get all the names and I'm going to spin a wheel. Random person gets $100 from me. I will DM you, Zelle you, PayPal, Venmo, whatever it might be. You will get free $100. I think this is good karma. I think this is 3 questions that shouldn't be too difficult. I do throw one of the questions that's going to be semi-difficult. And I'm very curious if Porter's going to get that correct. So yeah, I just want click that link as we talk about Teslas. We're gonna play that game in a couple minutes. So excited for the giveaway.
Why don't you copy paste just the link in the chat too, just for safekeeping. So Tesla, you can see us right here. We were live on this show when we gave you 140s on Tesla. Him and I both were pounding the table on that. So no excuse not to have it. As you can see, it was a perfect wick off trend line. Like it was a brilliant. This is like mastercraft entry. Like we couldn't. There was no better opportunity. Unless you date back to the other entry. I got to give Mr. Stockblock Profits credit for this one. He was buying at 110. So cheers to him, but cheers to us. You've gotten every opportunity if you've been following to get this. And we boomed to 365. Our options trade on Tesla over 500% return in just a few weeks. Equity, we were up well over 100%. This has been an absolute banger. It's a huge position for me. And I know it's a decently large position for Shy as well. So this is it's a big bet on the future. But I would just say, we just need to see this stay north of 316, and we should stay bullish. I'd like to see a little bit more breakout on the next monthly candle. That'll really give me a lot of confidence, especially if we can test 386. That's my next target. Above that, I think we're heading back to 440. I would say that's Boomtown. With eventually, this is going to go to 1,000 share down the road. 10-year outlook if they continue at their current pace of both Elon's involvement, development of software and underlying tech like FSD. And then also continuing to scale production of more economical versions of their cars, including robo-taxis. It's going to happen. So that's that. Now we're going to have you drop your tickers in the chat, play a little smash or pass. Going to quickly rip through all the names that you dropped. We're going to do the best we can to do it quickly. So drop them in the chat. And as we're going through that, feel free to interrupt me if you're going to choose a winner. Unless you're going to do that after the stream and DM them, they can keep a look for their DM.
Let's play the trivia game right now real quick. As we say that, I'm going to launch it in 10 seconds, but Tesla, don't sell Tesla before the Trump's first 100 days. That's all I'm saying. Don't sell Tesla before the first 100 days. There's something wonky on as a good thing is going to happen. So don't get top 5 position for me, Tesla, when it hit 150, 160. I'm not selling a share, even if it hits 500, 600. Like there's something dramatic is going to happen in the first 100 days in Trump. It's what I'm underwriting. So I'm going to launch the trivia game. Click that link below. Free $100, 3 questions, 3 for 3. Randomize it. Afterwards, you will be getting Austin. I want you playing it too. Let's see if you can get 3 for 3 right.
Oh, hold on. That's not.
All right. 1. It's about to go live. 1.
No, just hold on.
3, 2, 1. Launching it right now. Go.
Oh God, it's making me log in and all this business. All right, how long does it take? I'm not log. It's too much to log in. I got to set that up before we go next time.
Oh shoot.
Ace, I'm still holding Palantir from Ace.
My headphones just died. Hold on, be right back. I just realized I haven't heard anything in 1 minute. I'll be right back. I have to get new headphones.
So drop your tickers in the chat while he's doing that. I see you already got a couple. We're going to start with Tammy here. NICE. Ooh. You got to figure out what that sell-off is about. But this is a nice consolidation base. I actually kind of like this over 170. So that's going to get a little smash from me. I don't know what they do. So fundamentally speaking, I can say nothing. But I can say technically that chart is decent. And if you don't have stocks, buddy, on the monthly, it predicted Avgo called Avgo buy signal at $54 for it 3x. You can back test this on almost any trade. Best indicator of all time. The only thing I use daily in my trading. So Avgo, I'm going to say on this, that's a pass. Even though stocks buddy likes it bullish, I feel like it's starting to wash out here. Again, you're getting no fundamentals here from me. We're just talking charts and what we see. including overall sentiment. Red Cat Holdings. This is a weird thing. No idea what this is, but this is a wonky chart. So keep this in mind, that whatever happened, they reverse split this down to nothingness. So that should be important to you. Looks like 961. Ooh. You really got room to 11. I'd say this one's run its course. If it breaks out over 11, then I would say it's a good Momo trade to 15. It would get a smash then, but that's conditional smash on RCAT. Let's go. SoFi. This one's a banger, dude. We were talking about this one, $7-8, and it doubled. I'd say again here, it's going to top out right now. I'd say it's hitting pretty key resistance here. You have large volume sale there. Stocks, buddy, give the bullish signal at 790. We talked about this live on stream when it was about $7. We talked about the breakout over 10 being key, so we set you up for this trade. If you were following this alpha here, but I would say it looks like it's wearing down at 16. So this is not something I'd buy now, but I'd hold if I got in from the Stocks Buddy alert or from the one that we gave. That's SoFi. So GMed. Also, who took the GameStop trade? Because we nailed that. Again. That chart is so predictable. Globus Medical. Whoa, this sounds like a shy special. You know anything about this Globus Medical? This is breaking out. I would say if it continues over 85, that's a blue sky breakout trade that could easily go to 108. Boom. I'm going to suggest GME for myself. We're going to just lop off the D there instead of GMED. We're just doing GME, baby. Look at that. So we entered this one at about $20. This is the most predictable range in trading. GameStop, so much price data to justify. It looks like Stocks Buddy gave it to you at 10 before it ran to 64. And it looks like Stocks Buddy also called it at 86 cents before it went to $500 a share. So take that for what it's worth. If you aren't using this indicator, you are missing out. It's just stocksbuddy.com. You need to get in there and get a taste. Celsius. I think Shy was talking about this. It was getting beaten down. I look at this chart. I would say that this is a good base here. This one would get a smash from me with a tight stop because I think that there's opportunity here. I would like to see it above 31 though. So I'd say it'll be a smash above 31. There's no point in taking additional risk. So that'll be a pass on that. So Ace, I love you, baby, but I can't tell you what to do, man. I'm not you, but I will tell you right now that it is pretty significant profit. Here's what I do. When I have a trade that's broken out like this and I'm up 2-3x in my position, I almost always take half off the table just to basically, if I take half off the table, the rest of the shares I have are pure profit where I can feel a little more comfortable taking a little more risk with. If I take 75% of my shares, so if I have 100 shares and I sell 75, I have guaranteed myself significant profits on that 25% of those shares. So again, 25 shares I capture. So I got my money back on the first 50 if I'm up 100%. Those other 25%, I basically capture that 100% return, right? Because it's up 100%, which means that my overall return would be about 50%. And I still have 25 shares in the market for continuation. That's what I do. That's a strategy that's always worked for me. And if you're not, I put that overlay. I would say if you have questions like that, dude, get in the Discord, get in the coaching program. We'll walk you through exactly how we allocate targets, how we determine when it's time to sell, cut out, or use something like Stocks Buddy that can signal it for you. I put the code on the screen one more time if you want to grab that, screenshot it, or just take a picture of it with your phone if you're on a computer. Monopar Therapeutics. This is biotech. I like me some biotech. I would say this will get a smash if it breaks above 21 because it's definitely got some upside. So smash above 21. Otherwise, it's dead to me. We already did SoFi. APLD. Can you hear me now, guy?
Yeah, I could hear you. So my AirPods just died. And I'm calling from I'm doing a PC now. So I was like, oh shit, I have no speakers in my monitors. So I'm back.
Okay. So, Applied Digital. What is this about?
Oh, APLD. It's the reason it's called a bid is because NVIDIA during the 13F season announced they invested in this company. Guys, this is a very similar situation as Nanox when Nanox caught a bid from Nvidia's investment. Like, it really isn't moving
I
the
lost
needle for me.
$9,000 on that one.
I think this is one of those.
I'm proud of it, dude. It was one of those ones when biotech just got slayed. I just didn't pay attention, and it started to go down, and I did the same thing everyone does, where I'm like, nah, this has got to be short-term attrition. Little did I know that biotech would waste away to nothing. That Webull, if you see my profit screenshots on that Webull account, it's currently at about 80 grand. I started that with 5 grand. Okay. Took 5 grand to like 150, cashed out 50, then went from 100, holding a lot of these biotechs like a dummy, down to like 35 grand. Okay. Tammy, thank you. I did close a lot of those after we had that conversation at the event because they were years old. And I've since turned that portfolio, that 35 grand is now at 80. So, again, if you lose your firepower, you lose the game. So don't do it. Don't do what I did. Even though I've got a lot of experience doing this, I still fell prey to the same emotional discontent that comes with a red position. And it happens. You're not alone in experiencing it. And there's an easy way to solve it. And my goal is that you scan this code and we'll show you exactly how to do it. It's not that complicated. So, yeah. All right, last one. This NXL. Are you going to post the winner of that, or what's the deal with that?
I'm pulling it right now.
Ooh, NXT, excellent.
By the way, only 4 people got 3 for 3. So there's, I think the last question got a lot of people off on the compute one. Let me.
Answer is yes. Ethan is one of the best day traders I've seen, period. And his opening range break strategy is like, it's phenomenal. I watched this kid make stupid money. So definitely. Ace, there's a link on the channel to join the Discord and then just hit the support section, or you could just go to pvalerts.com and then look up the coaches. Ethan is who you're looking for. He's a day trader, resident coach. Phenomenal. Absolutely. Well,
we're at the hour. Okay. So these names are really fun. Veteran Tech with a trader, but instead of TEC, it's TEK. You're the winner. So DM me. Congratulations. Did I miss any interesting tickers that I want to get in on during that fumble I had? No.
There's a few.
One of my subscribers asked if I can touch on TMDX. Did we touch on TMDX yet?
No, we could wrap with that. Really quick. So Snapchat, you already know I'll be smashing a little bit on it with those lottos. Every time Snap comes down to this, either this 873 or this 1050, is like you always get a bounce, which we did. Obviously today was that pump to 12. So if you took those options I posted in the premium section, you should have crushed it. Nary, thank you. Shout out. Their Discord is the best one. Thank you. I love you. DM me on Discord, Big Quench. I don't know who you are on Discord. I'd love to know so I can show you that tender love and appreciation for that comment. Thank you. Yeah, Ace, hope to see you in there. Tammy asked about Nice. If you could maybe just post something a little later about that. She's asking from a fundamental standpoint. What was the one you were just talking about to pull up? Oh, TMDX. So when I logged in through Schwab, they let me buy it. Look at that.
Nice.
Look at that. I'm about to buy some more right now. I don't care if it's after hours. Look at that, dude. That's premium.
This is a $200 stock, guys. So I don't know when it hits. It's just going to hit.
My limit buys were all at 70. They were at 72, and then they were at 71.50. That's bullshit. That is bullshit. Remember, we mapped this out when it was still trading like 130s. Bullshit.
So TMDX, like, I think this happens towards the end of the year. There's a lot of backholders on TMDX that they got in when it was at 130, 140, etc. There is a thing called tax loss harvesting. That's what's occurring right now. Especially when the market's up 25% for this year, a lot of people have cap gains that they can offset on some recent losers. TMDX is a recent loser. And a lot of people are just like selling it, taking the tax loss, have to wait 30 days to get back into the stock in order to take advantage of that tax loss. I think that's what's happening on TMDX. I don't think there's any rush to get in. I think it looks like it wants to hit $62, which is a 200-week SMA. And that was the last time, like last October, when it dipped. That's where it bounced off of perfectly. I think that's going to similar thing that happened in TMDX. I am so bullish on this company. This is another example. Disconnect from business execution, stock price. Nobody wants TMDX now. Everyone wanted them at 140. I'm telling you, this is a mini monster that will be a $200 plus stock. And it's a top 3 position for me. I will continue adding as soon as the new year starts.
So what was your timeline? I just missed it.
I think it's going to hit it like by 2026. I think it's going to be 3xer in the next like 2 years. Again, like, a lot of people don't stick their neck out like that. It's like obviously 15% a return. That's all everyone wants. That's all I want. But the market's completely offsides in this name. Completely. It's very. I haven't felt this adamant about it since Snowflake at 110, 120. This is the market's missing this completely, and it's a very overdrawn reason on why they're selling off. I get into it, and if you guys got my newsletter, I do share some thoughts about this all very repeatedly, but it's just
put it up one more time. Scan that, baby. Get in there.
Yeah, people just think it's NRP competitions are eroding their margins, etc. It's just all so funny because they have no freaking idea what they're talking about. There's nothing wrong with the thesis on TMDX except for the stock price. Narrative follows stock price again.
Yeah, and I think for those of you that are in the Discord, I think I'm going to cook up a little bit of an options leap here on this one. That'll be I think could end up being one of our better trades for 2025. Sorry, we're going to make some. I already know. It's going to be so juicy, dude, 2025. The only problem with this is the IV because this fell so far. So all this options chain is priced so inefficiently.
Okay, so you actually have to kind of get ahead of this one quickly. I forgot to mention they're presenting on December 3rd at a Morgan Stanley conference management. That's going to be a catalyst to potentially move the needle on whatever they missed on their earnings. And it was something I won't get into it. You guys got my earning minutes through. If you guys scan this code, I provide earning minutes throughout earning season. I got into it for TMDX on what happened. I think management is going to kind of communicate what really is happening. And it's going to be a bullish thing for the stock price. So that's December 3rd. Watch out for that. So that's why maybe IV is spiked because of a major catalyst like that.
Well, and also, like I was saying, though, anytime the charts like this, where the contracts I'm looking at were in the money for a significant portion of time. And so when you get this huge drawdown, it's hard to capture as much options juice there just because these were trading at like the ones I'm looking at in particular were trading at like 5,000 to 7,000 a contract. They're currently down below 2,000 a contract. So they have 3x potential easily. The problem is they were priced up here, but with the fall from grace, they still retain some of that pricing, even though they shouldn't. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So
she got re-rated as well.
Let's do it. So yeah, you got to hear. Scan that link. Don't forget the coaching one too. If you did that quiz, post your results and tweet it at Pennyboys. We will be sending you some good stuff via your DMs. And if you won that $100 giveaway, make sure you check your DMs as well. So we love y'all. Stay blessed. We'll see you Friday. If you're going to join us, if you're in the Discord by then for the private session, all of our analysts live together, cutting it up, talking about names, looking at trades. We have been back on the SPY passive options income plan. Which my goal is every week to generate a couple $100 in passive income with one passive trade that we sell once and just sit back and reap the rewards. We did it almost 40-something weeks in a row last year. I intend to get that streak and beat it this year. So I love y'all. Stay blessed now. Bye-bye.